Hi, my name is Mrs. Allen and I am a first grade teacher at Daniel Wirtz. And today I would like to work with you on fractions. We're going to work on partitioning circles and rectangles into halves and fourths. Before we get started, I would like you to go and grab a pencil or crayons or something that you can write with, and then maybe some pieces of paper or even a notebook, just something that you can draw a picture on. I'm going to give you some time to grab those. When you come back, I want you to join our mindful lesson while you're waiting. Here we go.
Let's unwind. Sometimes we feel like we're wound up tight on the inside, maybe in our bodies, in our thoughts, in our feelings. We can actually let go of that extra energy right now. Let's unwind. We'll practice together. Stand tall with a little space around you. We'll wind up first. Start by making fists. Maybe cross some fingers, then make fists. Are they wound up tight? Now let's unwind. Spread your fingers, palms down. Circle your thumbs, and only your thumbs, slow or fast, around and around. Unwind. Ready? Now circle your fingers. Thumbs are still. Just your fingers circle together, around and around. Switch directions. Unwind. Ready for more circles? More unwinding? Make fists and circle at your wrists. You're unwinding one way. And now, unwinding the other way. Slower, faster, it's up to you. Unwind for 3, 2, and 1. Let's do elbows. Check the space around you. You're going to need some elbow room. Elbows wide. Hands up. Your palms are facing forward. Elbows stay where they are, shoulder height. Forearms and hands will circle, like on the face of a clock. Our hands ready? 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And to the side for 3 o'clock. Concentrate. Around and down to 6 o'clock, up to 9, and finish where we started, 12 o'clock. One more time around, this way, clockwise. Unwind. Circle the other way, together. 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Unwind. Try going around in different directions. Start at 12 and go. When you notice that you feel less wound up, you'll know it. All that circling can help us unwind. Can you feel that? Pause. Reach high. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale there. And when you are ready, slowly breathe out as you float your arms down. Rest your hands. Let your arms hang. Close your eyes if you wish. And notice what you feel on the inside. Not so tight? Not so wound up? Rest for another moment. Enjoy this soft and settled feeling. Unwound.
Okay, now that we're unwound a little bit, let's talk about the website we just used, we went to gonoodle.com, and parents, you can set that up for free to give your children some movement breaks at home. There are some fun, fast songs. There are some activities like this one where you can go real slow and calm back down. All right, like I told you in the beginning, we're going to learn about fractions today. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to divide circles and rectangles into halves and into fourths. We're going to listen to a story today, and it's called Give Me Half by Stuart J. Murphy. While you're listening, I want you to think about this question. How can you share things fairly? You have to share things all the time at school, at home, when you're eating supper, when you're eating breakfast. How can you share those things fairly? So let's listen to the story and think about that question.
Math Start, an award-winning series of 63 books that teach mathematical concepts through simple stories and visual learning. Give Me Half by Stuart J. Murphy, illustrated by G. Brian Karras, and read by Janet Ginsberg. A Math Start story about understanding halves from HarperCollins Children's Books. What if your brother had one whole pizza? You'd want half, of course. Just how much is half a pizza? And thinking ahead to dessert, what is a half pack of cupcakes? I have one whole pizza, and it's all for me. I'm going to get some pizza. Just you wait and see. I know you want some pizza, sis. You only get one slice. You'd better give me more than that. Why can't you be nice? You have to share the pizza. It must be split in two. The pieces should be cut the same for each of you. 1/2 pizza and 1/2 pizza make one whole pizza. 1/2 and 1/2 is 1. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. What is that behind her back? The last can of juice, I think. If he takes some juice from me, I won't have much to drink. I gave you half of mine, so you must share yours too. I'll give you just a sip, but not until I'm through. Split the juice in half. Again, you have to share. And when you pour it out, make sure that you pour fair. 1/2 can of juice and 1/2 can of juice make one whole can of juice. 1/2 and 1/2 is 1. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. I know she has some cupcakes. I saw her with a pack. I'm going to hide my cupcakes and save them for a snack. Hey, what's that on your chair? You'd better give me some. I'm going to eat them both myself and leave you just a crumb. Your cupcakes must be shared. And do I need repeat? You both get half the pack. And don't you two dare cheat. 1 cupcake and 1 cupcake make a pack of 2 cupcakes. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 is 1/2 of 2. I have a stack of cookies, and you get just 1 bite. You'd better give me half that stack, or else I'll start a fight. Hey, wait! Too late. Food fight. There are cookies on the floor. There's pizza everywhere. There's juice spilled on the table and sticky stuff under my chair. We're going to be in trouble. We've made a great big mess. But I have made no more than you, and you have made no less. We'd better each clean half. There's so much work to do. We'll be done in half the time, if Buddy helps us too. Each Math Start book includes a special 2-page section filled with activities designed to extend the learning beyond the story. For more about Stuart J. Murphy's Math Start books and about the Main Street Kids Club, the Math Start musical, please visit stuartjmurphy.com.
Okay, so in the book, they had to learn how to share their things equally. I had to do that this weekend with my brother because my brother decided that we were going to, it's off. We were going to order a pizza, but he said that we would share it equally. So he ordered the pizza and it came by delivery, and then he cut the pizza to share with me. This is how he cut it. And I was mad. I was so furious with him because he said that this part was mine and this part was his. Now, was that fair? Was that an equal way to share the pizza? You're right, it's not. Can you understand why I was upset? So then I said, all right, well, if we're going to share this pizza, we have to share it equally. So what I would like you to do at home right now, on your paper with your pencil or your crayon, I would like for you to draw a circle like this. Make it nice and big. And then I'd like for you to draw your line of where you think it needs to be for us to share it equally. If we're going to share it equally, it has to be divided into 2 equal parts. We call that a half. Did your line look like this? If it did, that's perfect. Those are 2 equal halves. So when we got done with eating our pizza, it was time for dessert. And my brother and I love to share a candy bar, a chocolate candy bar. Again, we were going to share this equally. So now on your paper, I want you to draw a rectangle. Make it nice and big. Then I'd like for you to draw your line where you think it would be cut so that he would get half and I would get half. So in other words, we would have 2 halves, 2 equal halves. Is this what your line looked like? If it did, that was great. But I also think that you might have divided it a different way. You maybe didn't draw your line straight up and down like that. Did you draw your line like this? Are those 2 equal halves? Sure, this is equal to this. If he got this part and I got that part, we both would be happy. What about this one? Are those 2 parts equal? Is this the same amount as this? Is that an equal space? Sure it is. We could draw our line this way. We could also make our line go from this corner, from this corner to this corner, and we would have equal parts. But then sometimes our mom and dad like to come and eat with us. So if our mom and dad are going to be eating the pizza and the candy bar with us, how many equal parts do we need to have? See, my mom, my dad, me, my brother. Oh, that means we have to have 4 equal parts. How are we going to share our pizza and our candy bar in 4 different ways? On your piece of paper or in your notebook, draw another pizza, draw another candy bar, and see if you can divide it in 4 ways so that we each get an equal part. Maybe you started with something like this. That's 2. Then maybe you added that. Now we have the pizza in 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. What about that candy bar? How are we going to get it to go into 4 equal parts? There's one. What about that one? Yeah, now Mom and Dad and my brother and I can all share a pizza and a candy bar, and everybody's got the same amount. All right, so on your, well, not on your paper now, but I'm going to show you some shapes in just a moment. We call this a quarter circle. Why do you think we call that a quarter circle? Well, think of quarters. How many quarters are in a dollar? We have 4 quarters in a dollar. So that's 4 equal parts of a dollar. So if we have a quarter of a circle, that must mean that there's 4 equal parts that make up a circle. I'm going to show you some shapes now, and I want you to give me a thumbs up if the shapes are divided equally. I want you to give me a thumbs down if the shapes are not divided equally. I'm going to give you just a little bit of think time in between. Look at this first one. You're right, those are not equal parts. Try this one. Yes, those are equal parts. 2 equal parts that we call halves. Look at this one. It's a little tricky. You got it. It is correct. Those are equal parts. What about this last one? It's even trickier. You're right. Those are not equal parts. It's still a square. Oops, we just turned it a little bit, but we did not divide it equally. Now I'm going to show you some shapes that are divided into 4 equal parts. We're going to play the same game. I want a thumbs up if the shapes are divided into 4 equal parts. I want a thumbs down if the shapes are not divided into equal parts. Here's the first one. Not 4 equal parts. This one has 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but they're not equal. Let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are equal parts, and there are 4. We have our quarter circle, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That makes 1 complete circle. Good job. So when we talk about half of, I want you to draw 1 big circle on your piece of paper. Give me 1 big circle, and then I want you to divide it into half. Did you do it this way? If you did it this way, that's fine too. This way works, or this way. Now I want you to color in 1/2 of that circle. Did you color in the top part, or did you color in the bottom part? Either way, it's 1/2 of the circle. We can do the same thing with rectangles. Let's try it with a rectangle. This time let's do 1/4 of the rectangle, 1/4. So on your paper, I'd like you to draw 1 rectangle. Then let's divide it into 4ths. Did you do it like this? If you did, that's great. If you drew your line from here to here, and then there to there, that works too. It's still into 4 equal parts. Now I'd like for you to shade in or color in 1/4 of your rectangle. Did it look like that? Sure, that's 1/4 of the rectangle. Now, somebody told me that when you divide a rectangle into 4 equal parts, you just get smaller rectangles. Do you think that's true? If I look here, there's a smaller rectangle. Here's a smaller rectangle. Over here with this, there's a smaller rectangle. When you divide a rectangle, you just get smaller rectangles as long as you get equal parts. Now, here is a way that you can try doing fractions at home. You can make homemade Play-Doh, which always, you need to have an adult helper. Here's the recipe. You just need flour, salt, cream of tartar, cooking oil, water. You can add food coloring if you want. It's not necessary. But you do need an adult to help you because you have to cook it on the stove for all of the ingredients to start to stick together. Another fun way to practice fractions at home is by making slime. This is my daughter's favorite recipe for making slime. We kind of came up with this together. It's also very safe, but again, you need to have an adult helper. And remember, never ever put anything in your mouth that you're using to do this with. You just use 1 bottle of glue, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1½ teaspoons of contact lens solution. I'm going to show you how to make it today, and then I'm going to show you how to practice making fractions at home. So the first thing we'll do is add the entire bottle of school glue. It can be any kind of glue. It can be Elmer's. It can be the kind you get at Walmart, the Crazy Art, any kind of school glue. Sometimes you have to be patient and make sure all of the glue comes out of the bottle. Because you really need every last bit that's in there. You also should put it in a big bowl so that if it gets messy, it's going to stay inside the bowl, not all over Mom and Dad's table. So we have the whole bottle of glue. Next, we're going to add baking soda. And remember I said it's a 1/2 teaspoon. So here's my baking soda. I'm going to just scoop a 1/2 teaspoon, sprinkle it in, and then I'm going to add the contact lens solution. And this time you get 1 tablespoon and then a 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm just going to squeeze it into my tablespoon. And pour that in. And then slide it down so I just get a 1/2. Just 3 ingredients, that's all it takes. So those are in, and then here's kind of what it looks like. I'll start stirring, and you'll know it's ready when it starts to stick together and it kind of starts coming away from the bowl. See how the glue is starting to stick together there? It's kind of important that you make sure it gets sticky like that because you don't want this to go down the drain in the kitchen. And it also makes it easier for Mom and Dad to clean it up or for you to clean it up. So I think we have our slime ready. So I'll just use my fingers and kind of pull it off of the rest of the spoon. And now you can just squeeze it in your hand. Stretch it way out. But we can also divide this into halves and fourths. So what I've done is, I've got my slime. I'm going to make it into a nice ball. And then I want to split it equally into 2 equal shares because I might want to share some of this with my friend. So I just lay it down on the table, and just like my circle, I'm going to split it with my hands. Just pull it apart. And now I have 2 equal parts of slime. But what if 2 more of my friends come? I might want to share my slime with them. If I need 2 more pieces, what am I going to do? You got it. I can split this one into 2 equal parts. And then if I split this one into 2, then we have 2 equal parts. Now we have 4 equal parts of the 1 ball of slime that we made. You can do this with Play-Doh. You can make your own slime. You can make your own home Play-Doh. You can use cookie cutters and cut out and then divide your shapes with your cookie cutters. If you want to make your slime a little smelly, you can add 1 pump of just foam hand soap, any kind of hand soap. You could also add a little bit of scented hand lotion, and it just makes your slime smell extra nice. You can keep it in an airtight container, and it will last for like 3 to 6 months. So enjoy making your slime and practicing your fractions at home. Remember, 2 equal parts means 1/2, and 4 equal parts means fourths, or 1/4. The secret code for today is read. Thanks, friends.